It's been a little bit, so it's time for a small junk silver hunt. Hey everybody, it's Rob with RobFindsTreasure, and yeah, we got a small junk silver purchase today. My silver dealer always pulls out all the SLQs, barbers, seated, things like that in all the denominations, and as he gets it, he marks this bag for me, and he got up to about $20.30, and I gave him a buzz, and I was like, do you have anything? He says, I have this. So it's kind of a smaller purchase today, but he doesn't really cherry pick through this stuff. He just sends it to me. Now, obviously, he does look for the best date, so I doubt I'll get any key dates in here, but there could be varieties, there could be some semi-keys, there could be some dates I need for my colección. So that being said, at $20.30 face, we got a pretty good bag of goodies. Looks like from what I saw, there's a lot of SLQs as normal. There's some GWs. I did tell him that if he gets any pre-1960 BU looking GWs, go ahead and put them in here. Obviously, clanging around in the bag, they're not going to be BU anymore, but that doesn't bug me. Either way, I want to go through this with you guys and see what we get. Let me get these stacked by denomination and type first, and then I'll bring you back in. All right, we've got them stacked. We've got a seated half dollar as well as a Barber half dollar. We do have a seated quarter, I think just one. Some Barber quarters, a lot of SLQs to go through. Some nice pre-1960 GWs that I'll look for any proof reverses or any of the doubling that could be on them. We also have a couple, maybe 3 seated dimes and some Barber dimes. I think I'll go through the GW quarters first and see if any upgrade in my album or if any have the proof reverse. I'll be back once I finish that. So we finished going through the GW quarters, and I did find an FS 901 Type B reverse 1959 Philly. So the Type B reverse has kind of bolded tail feathers on the eagle, but more importantly, you can tell a Type B proof reverse when the A is touching right there, part of the leaves, as well as a bigger gap on United States between E and S. So pretty cool find, not extremely valuable, but it's in decent shape, so I will take it. And I didn't have a very nice 1959 Type B reverse, and we'll add it to my colección. So not too bad. On the quarters, I checked, even though they're really nice, including this 1945 Philly, nothing really upgraded my album. So I'll put them in rolls and we'll give them away on the stream. We'll take a look at the half dollars and then we'll come back to the quarters last. Well, that was easy. We've got a pretty common 1875 Philly seated half dollar. It's not in terrible shape, probably G4. I'll take it, especially paying junk silver price. We got a pretty common 1907 D Barber half dollar. It is nice, but definitely not a great date. And then a fairly common seated quarter, 1854 with arrows at the date and no rays, of course. Again, pretty common. Figured I'd knock them out in one bunch. Now we'll move on to the Barber quarters next. Well, I'm pretty excited about the Barber quarters. I mean, most of these are common and pretty worn. 1915P, 14P, 12P, 08P, and 08D. Nothing really that great there. But check it out. We've got a 1904 O. 1904 O. And I went ahead and grabbed the red book for the mintage. And 1904 O, 2.456 million minted. And G4 condition red book value about 30 bucks. So considering we pay about $5 for the quarter, I'll take a 1904 O. And I need to check to see if I have one in my book. It's not in the best condition, of course, but I've seen worse. We've got a legible date and a legible mint mark. I'll take that. Let me see if it upgrades. If it does, I'll take you a peek of that, and then we'll move on to the SLQs next. Well, it didn't upgrade. As you can tell, it's not in the best shape, but I will still take it. Wasn't expecting a better date Barber quarter. Now let's do the SLQs. Well, the SLQs were a dandy, and here's why. This stack is all the slick Variety 2 or Type 2 with no mint mark. These are the slick Variety 2 Type 2 with either a D or an S mint mark. I could spend more time on those and try to figure out the dates, but I couldn't decipher one. These are the 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, and 30s that I could read the date on, and none of these are better dates. We just could read the dates. But I have two beautiful ones here. Let me go ahead and grab this one first. We have no date on this, but you can tell by the hair that this is a Variety 1. And let me show this to you. I'll put it under the scope. The ponytail is pointing up, so we know that's either a 1916 or a 1917, no matter what, because it is a Variety 1. And the branch held by the arm is encompassing the L in Liberty. So definitely a Variety 1. But when I checked for a mint mark, we've got an S. And in 1916, they only minted Variety 1s from the Philadelphia Mint, but 1917 had minted them from all three mints. So we know that this is without a doubt a 1917 S Variety 1 SLQ. Just under 2 million minted, and in G4 condition, it's about a $30 coin, and that's probably what this isn't. This is probably a G3, but I will take it and see if I can upgrade my album. I doubt I can, but maybe I can. The find of the hunt. Looks like it's been cleaned, but I don't care. It's a 1927 S. Let me put it under the scope for you. Bingo was his name-o. 1927 S. This is a very semi-key date. Only 396,000 of these minted. Less than 400,000. In G4 condition, it's $35, and it booms at EF40 and higher. Almost $1,000 or more. I think it's been cleaned. It has some weird toning, but who knows? You never know for sure. Probably not a grader, because it'll probably get cleaned with fine details, maybe VG details, and that's really not worth grading it, because even if it didn't receive a clean grade, it might be a $100 quarter at best, but I think it's been cleaned. Either way, I will take that. That is a nice addition to the collection, and like I said, the quarters did well, and now we have the dimes. So hopefully, because these did well, we find a good dime. Man, we got a 19040, a Type B reverse, a 17S, and a 27S. Pretty good finds in such a small batch of coins. Let's check the dimes now. So I've got 4 seeded dimes here. My best guess on this one is 1856. It doesn't really matter. Can't see the mint mark either. Pretty worn. I think it's just a Philadelphia mint. But we know it's a Variety 2. It's slightly off-struck or misaligned die, I guess, because the back looks centered. But either way, it's got the stars on the obverse, so we know it's the Variety 2. We know it's not going to be 1853 to 55, so it's going to be 1850 through 1859 minus 53, 54, and 55. That being said, probably an 1856. I'll take it all day. Not a bad find. We'll skip that one for now. A common 1886, but in decent shape. And then a common 1890 in terrible shape, and I can't see if there's a mint mark, and you can see why. Didn't matter, 1890 is a pretty common year, unless for some reason we had the small S, which is very rare, but I can't even see a mint mark. The find of the seeded dimes, another 1876 CC. 1876 CC, and that is a better date. The dime's a little toasty, but I'll take a CC all day. I already have one in my collection. I don't think this upgrades, but it's nice to see. Last step is to go through the Barber Dimes, and I'll bring you back. Well, the Barber Dimes are pretty good as well. We'll get to these 3 in a second, but we got 2 1892 Ps, not in the best shape, but still 1892. A 1905P, a 1908P, a 1912P. Matter of fact, we got a couple of those. A 1913P, a 1915P, and 2 1916 Philadelphias as well. We got a pretty nice 1914 Denver. That thing's in pretty great shape. You can see a lot of the letters in Liberty. Matter of fact, I believe you can see them all. Yeah, you can see them all. All the letters in the headband. So definitely not a terrible 1914D. It may actually upgrade in the collection. Working backwards, pretty nice 1907 Denver as well. Put that under the scope. Once again, you can read Liberty in the headband and the Denver Mint right there. Still working backwards. Another nice 1904 Philadelphia. Let's take a look at that headband. Yep, you can read it. It's got some chipping and some damage, of course, so that's going to hurt. But either way, still a 1904. And we'll take that. And then the find of the hunt. This is an 1892S. 1892S, less than $1 million minted, $65 in G4, but it is in pretty tough shape. But you can see it right there. You can see the 92, so it has to be an 1892. And when I flip it, you can just make out the top of the S. I know it looks terrible on screen, but you can see the serif of the S coming through right there. So that will be an 1892S. Like I said, it's in rough shape, but with less than $1 million minted and $65 in G4 condition, we definitely got a value on this one, no problem. Overall, man, a small sample set, but we got lots and lots of goodies to check against the album. I will definitely take the finds of this hunt, and like I always said, it does pay to get some junk silver purchases, especially if they haven't been cherry picked, because you can either get some stuff for your books or just have a good time going through it. Hopefully you had a fun time going through it as well. I know I did. If you did, I'd appreciate a thumbs up. And as always, everyone, happy hunting and thanks for watching.